Great time to catch up with Steve Alfred at the Kickin' Asphalt Bicycle Club, chairman of the ambassador program of the Hilton Head Bicycle Advisory Committee. Steve, how are you doing as we begin this busiest season of the year on our bike paths?
I'm doing well and very happy to be here again.
Great, glad to have you here. How safe are the bike paths on Hilton Head Island as we start this summer season?
Well, biking in Hilton Head is immensely popular.
Sure.
And the reason it's so popular is that it's a very safe place to bike. And the reason for that is our very extensive bicycle leisure trails and pathways, far exceeding what you find in most other places. In fact, in a recent conversation with a member of the State Highway Patrol, his view was that Hilton Head is the safest place to bike in the entire state of South Carolina.
How about that? That's good news. You guys even hosted a symposium, I know, this past spring that involved other resort cities coming in and kind of learning how it works here, don't it?
Yes, we did. In the latter part of March was a very successful symposium, the first one here.
Yeah, we still have our problems though. What needs to be done to continue to improve the relationship, I call it, between those of us who drive with four wheels and those of us who ride around on two?
Well, we've had an aberrational year on a statistical basis in terms of collisions in 2016. We've been kind of zooming along with something less than 23 collisions a year on average. No fatalities for 5 years before 2016, one a year for 4 years before that. And then all of a sudden last year, the number of collisions jumped from less than 23 to 35, and the number of fatalities in those collisions went to 3, and then we had one more this year.
Right.
So
any feeling on what caused those numbers to jump? Just the volume of bicyclists on the road?
Well, volume of cyclists seems to be a significant factor. On the other hand, I've talked to the town traffic engineer, to the county sheriff's office, to the state highway patrol. Nobody had any really good reasons. On the other hand, crashes involving automobiles and bicycles are up, not only here, but throughout the state and across the country, to the point where a number of leading publications like Governing Magazine, Bicycling Magazine, New York Times have been running articles on the increasing problems with bicycle safety. So it's throughout the entire country that this is taking place.
All right, so awareness is being increased. Will that, do you think, as much as anything, help solve the problems? Just people thinking about where they're going and how they're doing?
Well, that will help. But there are a number of things that we need to focus on here in Hilton Head. They fall, in my mind, in two broad categories. One is the Shelter Cove corridor, where we've got a new shopping center and where a couple of the collisions have occurred. The town's been very good in that focus in terms of increasing the number of paths, so that as well as putting up some signs that encourage use of the underpass. A lot of people don't even know that you can go under 278 to get to the other side.
Good, yeah, that's a good point.
The second thing is more general. We need to make sure that bicyclists, when they come to an intersection and face a car, make eye contact with the driver. Do not proceed unless the driver can see you. As far as motorists are concerned, there are many occasions in which a car is trying to enter 278, looks to the right once, looks to the left because that's where he's got to make sure it's clear, and never looks to the right again, and a cyclist comes along from the right. That's one of the things. We need to make sure that people wear reflective clothing. There are so many occasions in which I see cyclists wearing black. It may look good if you're going out to a party,
fashionable, yeah,
but it's really bad to wear on a cycles.
Absolutely.
We've got crosswalk issues. Cyclists don't always cross in the crosswalks. On 278, we've got some crosswalks that don't have traffic lights with them, and those should be discouraged. Right? I'm hopeful we can reduce the number of those and increase the number of crosswalks which are protected by a traffic light.
All good stuff. Thanks so much, Steve, for catching us up. We will watch very closely throughout the summer as the 25,000 bikes on our island try to get around. Steve Alfred, Chairman of the Ambassador Program of the Hilton Head Island Bicycle Committee.
Thanks for having me.